Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and we try and identify a key element of the race that we might look back on later as having decided the result. Well, on Sunday at Sha Tin, the first race we're going to take a look at is race 7, and our winning factor here, the Improver. Now this to me looks pretty much like a good old-fashioned match race, and the main interest will all be on Magic Success for Zac Purton and John Moore, and Gift of Lifeline for Tony Millard and Sha Tin. If there's a third choice, it's probably Glittering Armour, but Glittering Armour might have his work cut out for him giving a start to these two favourites. And we'll take a look first at the map, and it does look like, even from an inside draw, Glittering Armour, he might be a bit closer this time, stepping up to 1400 metres, but I do think he'll be behind Magic Success and Gift of Lifeline, who are going to be trailing the speed in this race. Now, Magic Success fans did their money last start when he was a bit keen in the blinkers and had blood in the trachea after his defeat as an odds-on favourite. So he had a few excuses, and rather than show you that race, we're going to take a look back at race 708, which he won, and that made him a short price favourite on that day. And you'll see here, Beauty Applause is the leader, and Zac Purton had Magic Success right up outside him in the run, and the horse dashed away, was very impressive winning here and coming right away over the concluding stages. So that was why he was the odds-on favourite last time, and to make him more relaxed for this race, John Moore has taken off the blinkers this time, and that will probably help him to return to that sort of form. But I'm looking at this horse. He's had 16 starts. He's almost 6 years old in just a few weeks, and we've probably seen him as good as he can be, and that's good enough for this race. But there might be another runner here with a bit more upside, and that's Gift of Lifeline. Now we're going to go back and see his only win to date in 7 runs, Gift of Lifeline, and this was at Happy Valley back in March. And you'll see here he's in the grey colours, he's 5th on the fence, and we get to the 500 metres and a horse in front of him stumbles and drops back on Gift of Lifeline, and he's quite badly checked there and loses a few lengths. Now, normally for an inexperienced horse, we'd expect that to end his winning chance, but he was able to pick himself up, get going again, and you see him surge to the line over the final stages of the 1200 metres here, and he really hit the line hard to win in good style. Now, after that, Tony Millard gave him a couple more races at 1200 metres where he was finishing strongly and not beaten far, and then gave him a little bit of a break, which is not a bad idea with these 3-year-olds who are still catching up between their physique and their rating and getting their act together. And then we saw him return over 1400 metres 3 weeks ago. And as we take a look at this race, 746, this was his first attempt at 1400 metres, and he was also a victim of circumstances in the race, forced to sit 3 wide just off the leaders here. But you'll see he continues on very strongly. He's only headed for second over the final 100 metres of the race. So my tip in race 7, Gift of Lifeline. His winning factor, the Improver. I don't think there's anything at all between these two favourites. As I say, it looks a head-to-head match race, but the fact that we've probably seen as good as Magic Success is going to get, and Gift of Lifeline still has quite a bit of upside to him, I think, as he matures as a 4-year-old next season, and that gives him the nod in this excellent contest. For our second race on Sunday, we're going to have a look at race 9, and our winning factor here, the Trainer. Well, I think we can boil this race down to 3 main chances. Marvellous World, Zac Purton's mount. Monkey Jewellery from the John Size stable after a forgive run when he returned from a break and was caught wide. And Yichun Blitz, who's now with Jimmy Ting. And it's Yichun Blitz where I really want to put the focus here, and we're going to see a table now. And this is something we've harped on before about stable transfer trainers. Some are particularly good at it. And here you can see that Jimmy Ting, he's had 10 stable transfer winners at the first run for his yard this season. And that stands him out. Over the last 15 years, you'll see other first season trainers listed here. And he is far and away the best of them. And I can tell you that even if we include all the other trainers, there hasn't been anyone in that period of time who's had 10 runners first time out for the yard after getting them from another stable to win their race. So Jimmy Ting proving exceptional at this first time stuff with the stable transfer. And Yechen Blitz, he's a horse that's always shown ability anyway. And we're going to have a look back at his most recent run, and here he finishes second to a smart horse in Silver Fig, and no real excuses for him in the run in race 639 in May. Yechen Blitz, he gets up outside the leader, he runs to the lead himself in the straight, but Silver Fig, an older horse too, is able to get over the top of him and win convincingly at the finish. But there was certainly no disgrace in that for the 3-year-old Yechen Blitz. Now, shortly after that race, Yechen Blitz's owner moved the horse across to Jimmy Ting, and so he's been there for a couple of months almost. And he advertised on June 21 just how well he's going. We're going to have a look at his barrier trial from that day, and you see him here, those pale colours again. And he's just off the leaders, but he runs to the front in the straight. And you can see it's quite good standard company here, all Class 3 and Class 2 horses around him. And an uncompetitive finish, admittedly. Nobody really tried that hard to beat Yechen Blitz, but he wasn't trying very hard to win the trial either. They were all under a hold, but he was under a particularly strong hold from Keith Young. And I thought this was an excellent guide to how Yechen Blitz is going with his new trainer. On the map, this looks a truly run race. A little bit awkward for Yechen Blitz that he has a fair bit of speed inside him, but I think he'll be ridden a little bit too quietly here. We've seen him in the past, very versatile in how he can be ridden and get a result out of him or get a performance out of him. And he's been ridden forward, he's been ridden back, and he's gone very well running on in races. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him doing that here to really good effect. So the tip, race 9, Yechen Blitz. His winning factor, the trainer. He hasn't been able to get himself in front yet, Yechen Blitz, but he has promised to win a race. He looks to be right in the fight here, and it's hard to go past that statistic from Jimmy Ting's stable transfer horses having their first start for the yard. Well, that's it for the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.